And then sometimes there's a disconnect between what our head says and our body says, so then we reconcile that. And so it really is working out your erotic map, determining and putting in the piece of the body is where I see the kinky show up and where I see the turn on. And then they can't deny, oh my goodness, I was so turned on by that. I didn't know that I was turned on by that. People had never played in it. And so the kinky blueprint comes out a lot more during that A/B test. And I see the same response in the body almost every time as it starts to come out, is there's this sound that comes out of the body, like a, like it's this like deep sound that's kind of like, it's got like a
so
gritty,
good. Kind of thing.
Like when somebody pulls your hair, it's just like,
yeah.
And so, and they get this face of like a stinky, like they've smelled something stinky, like a stinky face. And the body kind of curls up, or there's like a tension in the body. And that's a telltale sign. I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, there's a point for kinky. And then we go through, and then if they think they thought they were sensual, we'll keep comparing sensual to kinky. And oftentimes we'll find out, oh, there's a lot more kinky here than what we originally had thought from the mental map.
Yeah.
Got it. Great. So I wanted to wrap up with one final question that we're operating sort of under the assumption here that you and your partner, everybody listening, are both equally open to exploring this and to getting a deeper understanding and moving forward together. But what we've found, and I think a lot of people who are Tony Robbins fans can relate to this, is sometimes that's not the case, right? So typical story is, you'll have somebody, they go to Date with Destiny, they come back from Date with Destiny, they approach their partner and they say, oh, I learned all this stuff and it's so amazing, I don't want to talk to you about it. But because the partner, maybe is not as, immersed in Tony Robbins content, they immediately reject it. And, I was fortunate enough, I attended your event and my partner was very open and it was a great joint experience. But what advice would you give to somebody who's listening now, who this really resonates with, and they want to bring it back to their partner? And they don't know how? What are some small steps that they could take? Say even to the extent their partner doesn't want to take your assessment test, right? What are some things that they can do to sort of break the ice and at least start the conversation and get the ball rolling in that sense? Because I think this is a challenge a lot of people are faced with.
Let me give a don't first.
Yep. Great. Yep.
Don't content dump on them. So what I mean by that is like, don't go home and like, I learned this high blood pressure, blah, 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 and here's this one, and this, blah, blah. Like that.
Which is hard not to do because you're so excited, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You want to share everything you learned because it makes you, it expands your world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then the other person, it can create paralytic fear for the other person.
Yes.
Like, oh God, what does that mean? Now is something wrong with our sex life? And I'm not satisfied in this relationship, and what's wrong, and I don't want to deal with it.
Yep. Spinning mind. Yep.
Yeah.
So one of the things to start with is just a lot of appreciation. So here's is just a lot of appreciation for what you love about your relationship, and do it authentically. We have a coach, her name's Kristen Sweeting Morelli, and she says receiving. We talk about gratitude and appreciation, but really what you have to do first is receive all that your partner has done for you. If you're coming to them out of a place of lack or like, I need to change this, or like
need to change,
like a hunger kind of thing, it doesn't work as well as if you come first with your heart filled with receiving all that you've received in this relationship, like really feel it in your heart. And then you can go into the gratitude and the appreciation from a really heart open place. I've been doing this exercise that Kristen gave us recently where I just take like a sponge and it's like I'm kind of clearing out my heart, all the little crusties or all the little things or all the little resentments, and I just energetically, it's perfect for energetics, kind of clear it out. And then I'm able to come more with an open, appreciative place. And so it might look like something like this. If I were talking to Ian, it might be like, Ian, I really appreciate how much you give to our relationship. And I love so much every time we connect physically and sexually. And I just really want to take our sex life to the next level. And I'm wondering if it would be okay with you if I shared with you something I just learned that I'm really excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would provide me with just so much feeling of connection with you and a feeling like we're really a team not saying that we're not a team, because I really feel like we're a team, but I just feel like it would take it to the next level.
And the distinction of something, the word that Jai used there, of what that would provide for her.
Benefit, yeah.
So when speaking from the place of the providing, this will provide for me or provide for our relationship, it instantly brings a come towards energy into the dynamic of, wow, that as a masculine person, I want to step in and I want to provide that. I'm now listening to her of like, oh, well, I love you. And that seems like something that would be great for our relationship. So that then I'm drawn in, and then there's something for me to do. Like I become a protector of that possibility in our relationship.
So that would be, that
would definitely be one thing. And then other aspects, we're talking about them here in what we've already shared, but it's also being very clear to be non-critical, because stepping into this journey of sexuality is pretty unique. Like open sexuality, like really expressing yourself in your relationship, is pretty unique and pretty frightening for a lot of people. It's murky waters. So having the compassion really forward for your partner,
and yourself, and all your little parts that are really scared that you're going to lose love. And, it's scary. And that's something I may even say to my partner, if I can really tap into my vulnerability to say, you know what, I'm really scared right now to bring this up with you. And I just really appreciate your presence, and I really love you, and there's nothing you've done wrong, but I'm feeling scared. Could you sit with me for a little bit? And
would this be a good time to reveal?
I was going to say giving the option and the opportunity to provide that feeling of comfort. No, I think that's a wonderful approach.
And so you don't abandon your own needs in this situation at the same time. If you use that presence again, if you're noticing that there's tension, you could call it out. You could say, hey, this might just be my hallucination, but I'm noticing I'm thinking maybe you're feeling a little tense because I see your shoulders raising, and is that the case? And could you share with me about that? What's going on with you? And also, if it's clear that it's not the right time, would there be a good time that we could talk about this, so that you're honoring their boundaries, protecting them, while you're trying to open up a whole new kettle of worms in where you want to take the relationship.
And always remembering that if they do come back with something that is really intense, if they come back with, well, you never take out the garbage, or, well, why would I want to do